predominant rise of religion, at that time I decide myself.
Deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I appear myself. I myself appear, millennium after millennium.
One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take the book again in this material one, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me.
As all surrender unto me, I reward them. Accordingly, everyone follows my path in all respects. O son of Parth. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods quickly. Of course, men get results from fruitive work in the world.
According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable.
There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work.
All the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty, following in their footsteps.
Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what is action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune.
The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities.
One is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be a worker for whom the reactions of work have been burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs non-fruitive action, although it extends in all kinds of undertakings. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reaction.
He who is satisfied with gain, which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled although performing action.
The work of man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence.
A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature.
Some yogis perfectly worship demigods, by offering different sacrifices to them, and some other sacrifices in the fire of Supreme Brahman.
Some, the unadulterated brahmacharis, sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of mental control, and others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the objects of the senses in the fire of the senses.
Others who were strict in achieving self-realization to control the mind and senses offer the functions of all the senses and of the life, breath, and oblation into the fire of the controlled mind.
Having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, and others by performing severe austerities. By practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge.
Still others who are inclined to the process of breath restraint to remain in trance, practice by offering the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing. Others, curtailing the eating process, offer the outgoing breath into itself as a sacrifice.
All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and, having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifices, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere.
Rest of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next?
All these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing then, as such, you will become liberated.
O justices of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Partha, all sacrifices of culminate in transcendental knowledge.
Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth.
Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusions, for by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are put apart by the Supreme, or in other words, they are all mine.
Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, as a blazing fire tree, even if you're considered to be the most sinful of all the sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. A blazing fire turns fireward to ashes. O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions to material.
In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the material fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time.
A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge, and having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace.
But ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scripture do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next.
One who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his actions, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. Thus, he is not bound by the reactions of earth or conqueror of riches.
Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight.
Arjuna said, "O Krishna, first of all, you ask me to renounce work, and then again you recommend work with devotion. Now will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial?"
The personality of Godhead, the Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, "The renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation, but of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work."
One who neither hates nor desires the fruit of his activities is known to be always renounced. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. O mighty armed Arjuna!
One who knows that the position reached by the means of analytical study can also be, one who neither hates also. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service, karma yoga, as being different from the analytical study of the material world, Sankhya. Those who are actually learned say that he who applies himself well to one of these paths achieves the results of both.
One who knows that the position reached by the means of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees analytical study and devotional service to be on the same level, sees things as they are.
Merely renouncing all activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord, cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the Supreme without delay.
One who works in devotion, which is pure soul, and who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled.
A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them.
One who performs a duty without attachment, surrendering the result unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water.
The yogis, abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intelligence, and even with the senses, only for the purpose of purification.
The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of all activities to me. Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled.
When the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions, he resides happily in this city of 9 gates, the material body, neither working nor causing work to be done.
The embodied state, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create fruits of action. All this is enacted by modes of material nature.
Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their real knowledge.
So we are a little bit going slow, so we may have to read a little faster, and maybe we can try 2 shlokas per person, okay? So that way we can save some time. So when, however, one is enlightened with knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything, as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. When one's intelligence, mind, faith and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgivings through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation.
The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog ear. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman.
A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the science of God is already situated in transcendentals. Such a liberated person is not attached to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme.
An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urgus of material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world.
One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme and ultimately attains the Supreme. Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all the sin, achieve liberation in the Supreme.
Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in very near future. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes of vision concentrated between the 2 eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence.
The transcendentalists aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear of and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated.
A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of the living entities, attain peace from the pangs of the material miseries. Chapter 6. Dhyana Yoga. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty.
What is called renunciation, you should know to be the same as yoga or linking oneself with the Supreme. O son of Pandu, for one can never become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. For one who is a neophyte in the Eightfold Yoga system, work is said to be the means, and for one who is already elevated in yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means.
A person is said to be elevated in yoga when, having renounced all material desires, he neither acts for sense gratification nor engages in fruitive activities. One must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well.
For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same.
A person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stones or gold, as the same. A person is considered still further advanced when he regards honest well-wishers, affectionate benefactors, the neutral meditators, the envious friends and enemies, the pious and the sinners, all with an equal mind.
A transcendentalist should always engage his body, mind, and self in relationship with the Supreme. He should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. He should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. To practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusa grass on the ground, and then cover it with a deerskin and a soft cloth. The seat should be neither too high nor too low, and should be situated in a sacred place. The yogi should then sit on it very firmly and practice yoga to purify the heart by controlling his mind, senses, and activities, and fixing the mind on one point.
One should hold one's body, neck, and head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. Thus, with an agitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. Thus, practicing constant control control of the body, mind, and activities, the materialistic transcendentalist had his mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God by cessation of material existence.
There is no possibility of one's becoming a yogi. Or, O Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough, who is regulated? No. He is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work. Can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system.
When the yogi, by practicing the yoga, disciplines his mind and mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self.
In the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. The perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. The centered is actual freedom from all miseries arising from the material contact. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith, and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires of mental speculation, and thus control all the senses on all sides of the mind.
Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in a trance by means of intelligence sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on self alone and should think of nothing else. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self.
The yogi, whose mind is fixed on me, verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme, and thus he is freed from all reactions to past needs. Thus, the self-controlled yogi, constantly engaged in yoga practice, becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord.
A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Such a yogi who engages in the worship and full service of the Super Soul, knowing that I and the Super Soul within all creatures are one, remains always in me in all circumstances.
He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings in both their happiness and their distress over. Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me, for the mind is restless and unsteady.
The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it, I think is more difficult than controlling the wind. Lord Sri Krishna said, O mighty armed son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment.
For one whose mind is unbridled, self-realization is difficult work. But he whose mind is controlled and who strives by appropriate means is assured of success. That is my opinion. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection in mysticism?
O mighty armed Krishna, does not such a man who is bewildered from the path of transcendence fall away from both spiritual and material success and perish like a riven cloud with no position in any sphere? This is my doubt, O Krishna, and I ask you to dispel it completely. But for you, no one is to be found who can destroy this doubt.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Buddha, a transcendentalist engaged in religious activities does not meet with destruction either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment in the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family with rich aristocracy.
Or if unsuccessful after a long practice of yoga, he takes his birth into a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world. On taking such a birth, he revives the divine consciousness of his previous life, and he again tries to make further progress in order to achieve complete success, O son of Kuru.
By virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogi principles even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. And when the yogi engages himself with a sincere endeavor in marking further progress, being washed off all contaminations and then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many words of practice, he attains the supreme goal.
A yogi is greater than the ascetic, greater than the empiricist, and greater than the fruitive worker. Therefore, O Arjuna, in all circumstances, be a yogi. And of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga, and is the highest of all. That is my opinion.
Chapter 7, Knowing of the Absolute. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know.
Out of many thousand among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Earth, water, fire, air, either mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these eight constitute my separate material entity.
Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which compromises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. All created beings have their source in these two natures of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution.
O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as the pearls are strong on its thread. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun, and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras, and the sound in ether and everything in man.
I am the original fragments of the earth, and I am the heart and the heat and fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all ascetics. O son of Partha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. I'm the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles. O Lord of the Bharatas, know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of everything, but material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me.
Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who I am above the mode and inexhaustible. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute.
Of these, the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best, for I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal.
After many births and deaths, he who is actually knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures.
I'm in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planets. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable, and supreme. I have never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and inexhaustible. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows.
O skin of Bharata, O conqueror of the throne, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by the dualities arisen from desire and hate. Persons who have acted piously in their previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are free from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination.
Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of material manifestation, of the demigods and of all of methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death.
Chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme. Text 1. Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What are proactive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. Who is the Lord of sacrifice, and how does he live in the body? O Madhusudana, and how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self. Action pertaining to development of material bodies of the living entities called karma are fruitful actions. O best of the embodied beings, the physical nature, which is constantly changing, is called Adibhuta, the material manifestation. The universal form of Lord, which includes all the demigods, like those of the sun, moon, is called Adidaiva. And I, the Supreme Lord, represented as the super soul in the heart of every embodied being, am called Adi Yajna, the Lord of the sacrifice.
And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone at once, attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intellect fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. He who meditates on me as Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me.
One should meditate upon the person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is inconceivable beyond all material conception, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond the material nature. One who at the time of death fixes his life air between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga with an undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkara, and who are great sages in the renounced order enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you this process by which one may attain salvation. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga.
After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Parvata, because of his constant engagement in devotional service.
After attaining me, souls or yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state, and thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again.
Okay, we are again close to 6, so I think to expedite, we may start reading 3. Okay. Together one chapter. Okay, so let's read together 19. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. Yet there is another unmanifested nature, which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attended, never returns, that is my supreme abode. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his own abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated within him. O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does and does not come back. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain the Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery God. In the light At an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, and during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north, the mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches moon, planet, but again comes back. According to the Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in the light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when one passes in darkness, he returns. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Chapter 9.
The personality of God is said, my beloved Arjuna, because you are never ending me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing that you shall be relieved of all. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it is the perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everything. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service do not attain me. O conqueror of enemies, therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. And yet everything is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the container of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Understand that this firmament glowing everywhere rests always in the sky. All created beings rest in me.
At the end of the millennium,
all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under mine will it automatically manifested again and again. Under my will, it is annihilated at the end. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am never detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. All separately, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Fools do I understand, but they do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be. Those who are bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and the culture of knowledge are all defeated. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original and inexhaustible. Always chanting my glories in great dedication. For me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Others who engage in the sacrifice and cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many, and in the universal form. But it is I who am the ritual. I am the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandchild. I am the offering of knowledge, the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sama, and the Yajurvedas. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation, I am the O Arjuna, I give heat, and I withhold, and I send forth the rain. I am immortality, and I am death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Those who study the Vedas and drink the soma juice, seeking the heavenly parent, purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the highest heavenly land of Indra, where they enjoy bodily delights. When they have thus the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to the material plane again. They seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas, achieve only repeated birth and death. Those who worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have. Those who are the devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors will go to the ancestors. Those who worship the ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. If one offers me with love a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. You do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, or what give away, or you perform. Do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. In this way, you will be free from bondage to work and its viciousness and inauspicious results. Your mind fixed on me. In this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. I envy no one, nor am I powerful to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders justice unto me, devotion is a friend, me, and I am also a friend. Even if one commits the most abominable action, he is engaged in devotional service. He is considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, beware of holy that my devotee never perishes. O son of Pritha, those who shelter me, though they may be low-born, Vaishyas, or Shudras, can attain the supreme destination. How much more of the righteous Brahmanas and devotees and the saintly kings, therefore have become engaged in loving service unto me. In your mind, always thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer your obeisances unto me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. The opulence of the Absolute.
Please follow the lead reciter. Don't go ahead of them.
Chapter 10, The Opulence of the Absolute. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Listen again, O mighty named Arjuna. Because you are my dear friend, for your benefit I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is all better than what I already explained. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages nor my origin or opulences. For in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme God of all worlds, he only undiluted among men, is free from all sins. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, fear, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of the living beings are treated by me alone. The 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages, and our menace, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and from all living beings, populating the various planets descended from them. One who is factually convinced from this opulence, the mystic power of mind, engages in undivided devotional service. Of there is no doubt. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise, who perfectly know this, engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. The thoughts of their impure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always inviting one another and conversing about me. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy the shining lamp of knowledge, the darkness born of ignorance. Arjuna said, You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the greatest sages, Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vasya, truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the gods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Indeed, you alone know yourself as your own eternal potency. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, gods of gods, Lord of the universe. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all those worlds. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? O Jagardhana, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never saturated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you my splendorous manifestations, but only of those that are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities, and the beginning and the end of all beings. Of all the Vidyas, I am Vishnu, the light of the radiant sun, of Marsis and the Marsi, and among the stars I am the moon. Of the Vedas, I am the Sama Veda, of the minerals, I am Indra, and the king of heaven. The senses are living beings, I am the living force, consciousness. All the Gurus, I am Lord Shiva, the Rakshas and Rakshasas, and the Lord of wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am fire, Agni, and the mountains, I am Meru. O priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief, Vrishabhati. O generals, I am the Kartikeya, and the bodies of the ocean, I am the ocean. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of the immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Of all the trees, I am the banyan tree. And of the sages among the gods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitrartha. And about the perfect beings, I am the sage Kapila. Of horses, no need to be a Chasarva, which is the returning ocean for nectar. Of worldly evidence, I am the Arvita. And among men, I am the monarch. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the Surati. Of cause for procreation, I am Kandalpa, of the god of love. And the serpents, I am Vasuki. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. And among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Armana. And I am Yama, the lord of death. Among the doctor demons, I am the devoted Prahlada. Among subduers, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. Among birds, I am Garuda. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of the fishes, I am the shark. And the flowing rivers, I am the lotus. Of all creation, the beginning and the end, also the middle, O Arjuna. All sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am the inexhaustible time, and the creators, I am Brahma. I am the all-devouring death, and I am to be generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Of hymns of the Samaveda, and the Pratsama, and the tree, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am the Navashisha, November to December, and of seasons, I am the flower-bearing spring. I am also the gambling of the chiefs, and the splendid I am the splendor. I am the victory, I am the adventure, and the strength of the strong. Of the descendants of Vishnu, I am Vasudeva, and the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vasya, and among great thinkers, I am Usana. Among all means of suppressing loyalists, I am punishment, and those who seek victory, I am morality. In secret things, I am silence, and on the wise, I am wisdom. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What have I spoken to you is just mere indication of my infinite opulences. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. And from what I read there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe.
Arjuna's chapter out of the universal form. Arjuna said, by hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. O Lotus-eyed One, I've heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized their inexhaustible glories. O greatest of all personalities, O Supreme Form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, now see my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied divine and multicolored forms. O best of Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of the Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. Sanjaya said, O King, having spoken thus, the Supreme Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garments, garlands of garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. If hundreds and thousands of suns were to rise at once in the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe, situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances. With folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord. Arjuna said, my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible, and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. Although you are one, you spread through the sky, the planets, and all space in between. O great one, seeing this wondrous eternal form, all the planetary systems are perturbed.
All the host of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Host of great sages and perfected beings, crying all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwamevas, the two Ashvis, the Marus, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. O mighty Art One, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth as they are disturbed, so am I. O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouth, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the world, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance seeing thus your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions I am bewildered. All the sons of the Drashtra, along with their allied kings and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouth. And some I see trapped with their heads smashed between your teeth. As the many waves of rivers flows into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. I see all the people rushing full speed into your mouths as mouths dash the destruction of blazing fire. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. O Lords of Lords, O so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the Lord. I want to know about you, for do I know what your mission is? The Supreme Personality of Godhead says, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory, conquer your enemies, and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Sayasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed, simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Sanjaya said to the Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name. Thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you a respectful homage, the demons are afraid. They flee here and there. All this is rightly done. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then you should not offer the respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this materialistic manifestation. You are the original personality of God, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes, O limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. You are air, you are the supreme controller, you are fire, you are water, you are the moon, you are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I shall therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times again and yet again. Obeisance to you from the front, from the behind, from all sides, O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. Thinking of you as my friend, I have actually addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend. Not knowing your glories, please forgive me. Whatever I may have done in malice or in love, I have dishonored you many times. Just as we relax, lay on the same bed, or stand or eat together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me from all those offenses. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? You are the supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the influence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your plans on me and reveal again your form as the personality of God, O Lord, Lord, O Lord of the universe. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with a helmeted head and with a clubbed green conch of the lotus flower in my hand. I long to see you in that form. The Supreme Personality of God said, my dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you my eternal potency, this supreme universal form within this material world. No one before you has ever seen this spiritual form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. O best of good warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I have been seen the form of material world. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible picture of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Lord Krishna has spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form, and at last shows his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. When Arjuna thus saw the Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am now restored to his original nature. The Supreme Personality of God said, my dear Arjuna, this form of mind you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are seeking this opportunity to see this form so dear. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. My dear Arjuna, only by unalloyed devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you and thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysterious of my understanding. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service free from contaminations of wicked activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes from me.
Devotional service. Arjuna inquired, who is considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the man unmanifested? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds by my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me. For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are involved. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities onto me and being devoted to me without deviation, in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. O my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. If you cannot practice the regulation of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act, giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. If you cannot take to practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of actions. And by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. One who is not envious but is kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. He by whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equiposed in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. My devotee who is not
who is pure, expert, without prejudice.
one who neither rejoices nor grieves, whose climate is that, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious, such a devotee is very dear to me. One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equiposed in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any incidents, who is fixed in knowledge and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who is completely engaged in themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me.
Chapter 13, Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field and the knower of the field, and the knowledge and the object of knowledge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, this body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. O skin of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower of all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Now please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted and what its changes are, whence it is produced, and who that knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are. That knowledge of the field of activities and the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is especially present in the Vedanta Sutra, with all reason as to cause and effect. The five great elements, false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses in the mind, the 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, life symptoms and convictions. All these are considered in summary to be the field of activity and interaction. Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Ki Jai. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai. Sri Bodhisai Ki Jai. Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement from children, wife, home and the rest, even-mindedness in pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, acceptance of the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be, is ignorance. I shall now explain the noble, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, beginningless, subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world.
Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, his heads and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way the Supersoul exists, pervading everything. The Supersoul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the mode of nature, and at the same time he is the master of all the modes of material nature. Supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and the because he is subtle, he is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although he is far, far away, he is also near to all. Although the Supersoul appears to be divided amongst all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, he is to be understood that he devours and develops all. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifest. He is knowledge, he is the object of knowledge, and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart. Thus, the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and the knowledgeable have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. Material nature and living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformation and the modes of matter are products of material nature. Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects. Therefore, the living entity is the cause of all various sufferings and enjoyments of this world. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of material nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species. Yet in his body there is another, the transcendent enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, who is known as the Supersoul. One who understands this philosophy concerning the material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature, is sure to obtain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. Some perceive the Supersoul within themselves through meditation, others through cultivation of knowledge, and still others through work without fruit of defiance. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from the authorities, they are also interested by the birth and death. O chief of the proprietors, knowing whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non-moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the lower of the field. One who sees the Supersoul accompanied with the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the Supersoul within the destructible body is destroyed, actually sees. One who sees the Supersoul equally present everywhere, in every living being, and does not degrade himself by his mind, thus he approaches the transcendental destination. You see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees. When a sensible man ceases to see the different identities due to different material bodies, and he sees how beings are expanding everywhere, attains to the Brahman conception. Those with a vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body of Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all-pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, although it is situated in that body. O son of Bharat, as the sun alone illuminates this universe, so does the living entity within the body illuminate the entire body by consciousness. Those who see with the eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and knower of the body can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature and attain to the supreme goal.
Chapter 14, the three modes of material nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Again, I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained supreme perfection. By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed by the time of dissolution. The total material substance, called Brahman, is the source of all birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Kunti. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it is freed from one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The result of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions one to fruitive actions, and ignorance, covering one's knowledge, binds one to madness. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes permanent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy. The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of body are illuminated by knowledge. O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in this mode of passion, the symptoms of great achievement, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. The result of pious action is pure and is said to be the mode of goodness. But action done in the mode of passion results in misery, and action performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance develop foolishness, madness, and illusion. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward in the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the abominable mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. When one properly sees that in all activities no other performer is at work than these modes of nature, and he knows of the Supreme Lord who is transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature. When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with the material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses can enjoy nectar even in this life. Arjuna inquired, "O my dear Lord, symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior, and how does he transcend the modes of nature?" The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "O son of Pandu, who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that these modes alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal towards the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally in well and praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities. Such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. One who engaged in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the next level of Brahman. And I am the basis of that impersonable Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional possession of ultimate happiness."
The Yoga of Supreme Person. The Supreme Personality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead said. It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree, that its roots upward, its branches down. Those who reaps are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of Vedas.
The branches? Can somebody give me a source?
The branches of this tree extend onward. The branches of this tree extend onward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of senses. This tree also has roots flowing down. These are bound to routine actions of human society. The real form of tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, where its foundation is. But with the determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and surrenders to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began, from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. Those who are free from the false prestige, illusion, false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with the material lust, who are freed from their dualities of happiness and distress, and who unbewildered, who know to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. The supreme abode of mind is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another. As air carries aromas, thus he takes one kind of body and again tweaks it to take another. The living entity thus taking another gross body takes a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind, and he thus enjoys a particular set of senses. The foolish cannot understand how living entity can treat his body, nor they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in the knowledge can see all this. The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated self-realization can see all this clearly. But those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of the whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me. I enter into each planet by my energy, they stay in orbit. I become moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. I am the fire of the digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am knower of the Vedas. There are two classes of beings, fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. And in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. Because I am transcendental, beyond both fallible and infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one. It is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection.
Chapter 16, the Divine and Demonic Natures. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearfulness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, study, determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freed from envy, and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Partha, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Vruta. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with divine qualities. O son of Vruta, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and other is demonic. I have already explained to you at the length of divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demonic. Those who are demonic do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. They say that this world is unreal with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Following such conclusions, the demonic who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works made to destroy the world. Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the concept of pride and false prestige, the demonic illusion are always drawn to unclean work attacked by the impermanent. They believe that the gratified senses is a prime necessity of the human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable. Bound by a network of hundreds of thousands of desires and absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. The demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and will increase in the future, more and more. He is my enemy, and now I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am the perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Thus perplexed by various anxiety and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense and fall down into hell. Self-complacent and always deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes strongly perform sacrifices in name only, without following any rules or regulations. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and bloodshed against the real religion. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among the men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demonic life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abnormal time of existence. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own ways attains neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated.
Chapter 17, the divisions of faith. Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scripture but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds, in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this. O son, O son of Bharata, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of particular faith according to the modes of has acquired. Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods, those in the mode of passion worship the demons, and those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Those who undergo severe austerities and the penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride and egoism, who are impelled by lust and attachment, who are foolish and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the supreme soul dwelling within, are to be known as demons. Even the food each person prefers is of three kinds, according to the three modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifices, austerities, and charity. Now hear of the distinctions between them. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, or salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such food cause distress, misery, and disease. Food prepared more than 3 hours before eating, food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, or food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of Scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion. Any sacrifice performed without regard for the directions of Scripture, without distribution of prasadam, spiritual food, without chanting of Vedic hymns and remunerations to the priests, and without faith is considered to be in the mode of ignorance. Austerity of the Buddhi consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, and the superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the this threefold austerity, performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits but engaged only for the sake of supreme, is called austerity in goodness. Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent. Penance performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy or injure others is said to be in mode of ignorance. Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in mode of goodness. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for futile results or in a grudging mode is said to be charity in the mode of passion. And charity performed at an impure place at an improper time to an unworthy person or without proper attention and respect is said to be in mode of ignorance. From the beginning of creation, the three words Om, Sat, Tat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three-syllable representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during the sacrifices for the satisfaction of supreme. Therefore, transcendentalists under performances of sacrifice, chanting penance in accordance with spiritual regulations begin always with Om to attain the supreme. Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is said to get free from material entanglement. The absolute truth is the object of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person, O son of Pritha. Anything done as a sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme or Son of Pritha is the impermanent. It is called Asat and is useless both in life and death. Chapter 18, Conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyaga, and of the renounced order of life, sannyasa, O pillar of the Keshi demon, master of the senses. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the giving up of activities that are based on material desire is that great learned men call the renounced order of life, sannyasa. And giving up the results of all activities is what the wise call renunciation, tyaga. Some learned men declare that all kinds of primitive activities should be given up as faulty. Yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity and penance should never be abandoned. O best of the Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. O son of Pitha, that is my final opinion. Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is not to be in the mode of ignorance. Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. O Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. The intelligent renouncier is in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities. But he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruit of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, active after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such desire to suffer or enjoy. O mighty of Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of these from me. The place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. What right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, does not kill, nor is he been bound by his actions. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower of the 3 factors that motivate action, the senses, the work, and the doer are the 3 constitute action. According to the 3 different modes of material nature, there are 3 kinds of knowledge, action and performer of action. Now hear of them from me. That knowledge by which one individual in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness. That knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is a different type of living entity, you should understand to be in the mode of passion. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager,
is said to be in the mode of darkness. That action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive result is said to be in the mode of goodness. But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from a sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion. That action performed with illusion is disregard or spiritual rejection and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. One who performs his duty without association with the modes of ideal nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness. The worker who is attached to work and the fruit of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, pure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion. The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of material nature. O son of Pita, that understanding by which one knows that what to be done and what not to be done, the what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness. O son of Pita, that understanding which cannot distinguish that should be done and action that should not be done is in the mode of passion. That understanding considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in the wrong direction. O Partha is in the mode of ignorance. O son of Pita, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice and which thus controls the activities of the mind, life and senses is determination in the mode of goodness. But that determination by which one holds fast and fruitive results in religion, economic development and self-gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjuna. And that determination which cannot go beyond living, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness and illusion, such unintelligent determination, O son of Pita, is in the mode of darkness. O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all desires.
And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness and illusion. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects, and which appears like nectar at the first, but poison at the end, is said to be of the nature of passion. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems, which is free from those three modes born of material nature. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own nature in accordance with the material modes, O chastiser of the enemy. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas.
Farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work for the Vaishyas, and for the Shudras there are labor and service to others. By following these qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. It is better to engage in one's own occupation perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault. One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain by practice of renunciation the highest perfection stage of freedom from reaction. O son of Kunti, learn from me how one who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfectional stage, Brahman, the stage of the highest knowledge, by acting in the way I shall now summarize. Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being free from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind and power of speech, who is always in trance and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. One who is thus transcendently situated and once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion he can enter into the kingdom of God. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. Under illusion, you are now declining to act to my direction. But compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as a machine made of the material energy. O scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fear. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. For one who explained this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there be ever be one more dear. And I declare that he who studies his sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planet where the pious dwell. O son of Pitha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? Are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled? Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act your instructions. Sanjaya said, Thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. O king, I repeatedly recall this wondrous form. As I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
So thank you very much for participating in reciting all the translations. I think those who have got the books, kindly bring it back to the stage so we can put them back in the boxes. And I think the Aarti is not finished, but Balaram Prasad, what's the next one?
Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you Indapati Prabhuji coordinating this wonderful Bhagavad Gita reciting. Let's say one more time Hari Bol to Bhagavad Gita reciting to everyone who read. Then everybody heard. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hari Bol. So now we're going to get dinner soon. We're getting ready. And then after that we're going to have a Kirtan program outside in the shed from 7:45 onwards. And there will be fireworks around 8:30. So you continue, the Kirtan will continue on in the shed till 10 p.m. while fireworks are happening in between. So have dinner and then we have fireworks and the Kirtan program.
Hare Krishna. Before we start the fireworks, we need to move all the cars. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we have to take all the cars, put backside behind this big shed on that side, so the fireworks does not touch your car. So all these cars has to go behind that side. Only for today. From tomorrow is okay. So then, because we are doing fireworks, you know where the ramp is? We all have to sit on the big shed, and there's a big ramp. Right in front of the flag is where the fireworks are going to go. So we need to remove all the cars from there behind the shed. First, then we'll start Kirtan. Many cars are ready. Cars are ready. Dinner ready. Hare Krishna.